Have you seen the certification that can land you an awesome remote job? Nah, Lucas, no way. And you're right, most online certs are completely useless. They're so bad that recruiters laugh in your face and then kick you out of the office. Okay, that's a stretch, but wasting time and money on certs suck. I'm gonna show you 6 online certs that are actually worth your time and money, that can lead to high-paying jobs in constant demand, jobs that AI isn't taking away, and none of them require a degree or experience, but only for now. That's just the truth. I mean, no opportunity is around forever. So the first certification is for just about anyone and could make you 6 figures down the line, because that's the salary projection for this job. So I got a really scary story. Hold on. Last year in June, a glitch in the Google Cloud Services caused Spotify, Discord, Snapchat, and thousands of other online shopping carts to freeze. And the worst part is that tens of thousands of companies had to shut down until it was fixed. Can you imagine how many millions of dollars they lost? And who's gonna pay for that? Like, who's the person that's responsible? But wait. First of all, what's even cloud? And why is everybody using it? And why does this matter? Think of it like this, okay? Big companies don't want to deal with buying servers, managing storage, or making sure everything runs 24/7. They basically don't want to deal with the data center stuff. It's just a waste of time for them when they could pay somebody to do it for them. So instead of building all that crap themselves, they rent it from companies like Google or Microsoft. But here's the catch. When something goes wrong in the cloud, each company still needs somebody on their team who knows how to fix it and fix it fast. And that's where the Microsoft Cloud Support Certificate comes in. Now, this is kind of like IT support. The difference is you're getting double the paycheck, which is pretty cool. And there are over 50,000 open positions just in the US alone. And you're thinking, Lucas, okay, that's too good to be true, isn't it? You're right to be skeptical. I think you should be, because you don't often find an opportunity like this. The reason why it's so good is that very few people have these skills, and it's still pretty new. And those that do get paid very well. Now, this certification takes you roughly 4 months to finish part-time in your spare time, and it assumes no prior experience and starts by teaching you just how computers work in the first place. Or sometimes they don't work, and that's when you gotta fix them. That's the point of IT support. It then covers things like networks and cloud and introduces you to all the tools that you have to know. We don't need to mention them now. And Microsoft's a great place to learn from, as they are the #1 cloud provider with their service called Microsoft Azure. Lots of companies are using it, giving you in-demand skills. So I'm gonna give this one a solid 8 out of 10. All right, now the next certification begins with a tragedy. This year, something really bad happened to WhatsApp because they launched their new AI. And guess what happened? Yeah, it's supposed to make things better for their users, but here's what actually happened. WhatsApp's AI bot mistakenly shared a private phone number, not the customer service number, but a real person's phone number to thousands of people that were looking for help. Now, it seems like a tiny mistake. It doesn't matter, right? But imagine coming home from work, picking up your phone and seeing thousands of missed calls, with more coming every second. And if somebody else has to reach you, like a recruiter for your next job interview, what do? Like, nobody can get through, your number is now unusable. So it's no surprise that AI product managers make 6 figures if they do these things correctly. And with this cert by Microsoft, you can become one too. It takes about 3 months part-time with no prior experience. And here's why I think you should consider it. Look, AI is obviously growing, and being a part of that growth lets you make money. But for this, you don't need to code or be some tech person. You talk to users and find out what they really need. The course will start by teaching you how to do that. And then you work with your team to decide what the AI should actually do. That's course number 2 and 3. You design it with your team and you launch it, and you make sure it's useful and safe and it doesn't share somebody's phone number. And that's pretty much it. You're not coding, you're not making some tech stuff of AI. You're like the captain of the ship, steering and making decisions that keep it safe and bring results. But of course, it definitely helps if you have other experience. I do want to clarify that usually for AI jobs, they will look at your other experience, and then you use this as kind of like the thing on top. Still, I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. Next up is one of my favorite certifications, and that is the ADP Payroll Specialist. Look, I hate to break it to you, but most college degrees just teach you useless crap that you'll never be using in the real world. They're having you memorize whole textbooks, and you're still not getting a job when you graduate, because nobody really cares except your professors. Companies want useful skills, and every single company has payroll. Somebody needs to make sure employees get paid accurately on time. Just one single website, Indeed, has over 20,000 open jobs for payroll specialists, with no experience required, and you can often work from home. So I don't see why people aren't taking advantage of this. It's something anyone can learn. Now this cert is going to teach you payroll in 1 month versus 4 years of college. First, doing things like calculating paycheck, like how much should an employee be paid. If you're a mega corporation, probably as little as possible. Next, how to deal with payroll taxes. And for every employee you pay, you have to pay taxes to the government. You can ghost the group chat, but you cannot really ghost the IRS. I mean, you could try, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you don't pay, expect the taxman to show up like they've been tracking your every move, which, let's be honest, they probably have. Then your job is also to answer any payroll questions and fix any mistakes. And that's pretty much it. The only downside here, in my opinion, is that payroll systems are going to be different between every country, and this course is specifically for the US. But the same kind of principles apply anywhere. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. All right, next up is Adobe's Graphic Design Certificate. Have you seen these expensive art degrees and wondered who's getting a job with them? The reality is, they're not. Many of the graduates are forced to take unrelated jobs they could have done without a degree. Now, following passion is always a good thing in my opinion, but let's be clear. If you're looking for a creative job, this cert can actually help you without adding tens of thousands in student loans to some college and wasting 4 years of your life. Not saying college is always a waste, but there are definitely situations where that is the thing. Now, graphic design is not about painting sunsets, even though that's really beautiful. It's designing things people see every single day. This cert is going to teach you how to master Adobe's own tools like Photoshop and Illustrator, and these are like kind of the industry standard, and these skills are decided by lots of companies. And it's going to teach you everything from scratch by building real projects like doing ads, flyers, logos, and help you create a nice portfolio. Now, art school is pretty cool, but 90% of hiring looks at your portfolio and your skills, not your art degree. And you can learn that in months, not years, in your spare time. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because it's definitely not for everybody. I mean, the field is very competitive, and if you want to make it, you need to be very passionate about what you do. Keep that in mind. All right, so next up is going to be the Meta Marketing Analytics Certificate. Now, this can actually make a beginner the next Scrooge McDuck, buying a swimming pool only to fill it up with money instead of water. That's a problem I wish I had. Because every day, businesses burn thousands of dollars on ads that look good but never make a difference. They don't make any money because no one really bothered to check the data and what's actually working. That's the job of a marketing analyst. With over 10,000 jobs in the US alone and a median pay of $92,000 per year, now, I'm going to say something that's going to blow your mind. You wouldn't believe it that you don't actually need any experience or any degree to start this position. That would be too good to be true. Or because you actually don't. Surprise, surprise. The marketing analyst is one of those jobs where skills mean way more than formal experience. And in this cert, you will learn real ad tools used by companies, spending hundreds of thousands per month. You'll start building some practical skills in week 1 from one of the biggest marketing companies and not waste years in a university learning outdated stuff. The course content starts with the fundamentals, some analytics, a tiny bit of programming, very simple, nothing too hard, some statistics, as well as some real hands-on projects and actual practice, which is the most important thing. So I'll give it a solid score of 7.5 out of 10. All right, next up is Akamai. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this correctly. Network Engineering Certificate. And are you thinking, Lucas, that sounds extremely boring? Yeah, that's the point. You won't see TikToks about this job because everybody wants to work with AI. They want to do data analytics. They want to do design, coding, or whatever is trending right now. But while they chase hype, companies are quietly paying $104,000 per year to people who just know how to fix their internet. And when the job market is tough, like right now, imagine working in a boring but stable field with no fear of ever being laid off, having a great work-life balance, and a pretty high salary. Sounds pretty good to me. This cert is going to start by covering operating systems, networks, managing databases, some Python programming, some security stuff. Well, boring, right? Maybe, but if the company is a pyramid, you are the foundation. And without you, everything collapses. You're actually really important, and your colleagues can't even send a single email without your internet or your networks. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Now, I also found one of the best certs leading to high-paying remote jobs. Click this video on the screen and I'll show you all of them. And yes, they work for beginners too. So check them out.